Dawn is a very easy machine in proving grounds, and this is the IP address. So what we should do, we should scan for the services that are offered by the IP address, and by that we are going to use a tool called nmap. So I've already done that because it can take a moment, and this is the command that you issue on the terminal. So this is for service script enumeration, this is for service version, and I think this is for something like threads. So you are running it in some kind of for threads, or I don't really know, but we are going to check that in a minute. So this is for a full port, so you are going to scan for all the ports from 0 to around 65,000 wherever, and this will save this to the file here, and we have the IP and we are running it on verbose mode. So basically, let's just go to the man page of nmap and check what the tag t4 means. So we can search for it using the backslash, and so what that means, it is that it does the equivalent of tag maximum, and the timeout to be that one. So let's see. So yeah, so what that does is just increases some kind of the packets being sent or something of sort. So that being said, we can see that nmap returns port 80, port 4921, port 139 for samba, port 445 for samba, and port 33064 for MySQL. So basically the specific DB they are running is MariaDB, and that's okay. So we can try to check the web, and we are seeing that the website is currently under construction. Try again later. So basically I'm just going to spin another terminal here, and you're going to www, and you're going to start GoBuster. So GoBuster, and you want to enumerate the directories. You're giving it the IP, and the word list should be the sec list one, so the web content and the raft medium directories lowercase. I think that will work. So yeah, as that runs, basically we already have a hit on /logs. We are going to use a crack map exec. So we are going to specify samba there, and we want to enumerate the shares. So what that will do, it will try to run this, and basically we ought to have given it maybe some funny credentials to use, like guest and guest. So let's see. Yeah, and we can log in as guest, so basically anonymous logging is allowed. And let's see what shares we got, and we have a pretty common share called print and IPC. These are common shares, but this is out of the ordinary, that is IT department. And then the funny thing is that we have read write permission to the IT department share, and you are told please do not remove this share. In case you are not authorized to use this system, you should leave immediately. So let's use SMB client. First you're going to create a file called test, and then we can use SMB client to log in. So we are logging in as guest, and then we just need this IP, and then you specify the specific share we want to log in as. For the password, you can just hit enter, and then we find a prompt and we have nothing there. So let's try to upload the test file that we have just like recently created, and you can see putting file test to that, and it's now there. Yeah, so test is there, so we can remove test. So that's pretty awesome. So another thing, we can like go to the web and check for this directory /logs, and as you can see we have a directory listing here. So this is some kind of a vulnerability, although there is low impact to the organization. We can see that the first 3 files have a size of 0, so they are not worth downloading. But we have management.log that is 81k, that is 81 I think that is kilobytes, something of sort. But we just need to copy the link and download it using wget. So we don't need that again. So the funny thing is that this output really looks like the PS spy output. So the one that if you are running pspy, this is the kind of output that you'll find. So just scrolling up to like get a high level overview of what this is doing, we can see that this is just Apache being started there, and somebody, the root user was running pspy as the 64-bit version of it, and the output was directed to management.log. so this is the file that we are reading right now. So that is pretty awesome, and you can see we have some kind of a cron job here that is running SID 1000. So basically I think that is the user Dawn. So you can see that from this URL, this path there, this is the relative path to product control. So this is the share that we had, and we didn't find a file called product control, so we can create one. So that's really nice. So to create this one, we just need to write the shebang line and bash takai. So I'm just going to write the bash reverse shell. So that's the IP on port lit, and then so that is how the bash reverse shell looks like. And yeah, so we are going to put this into that share, and then start up a netcat listener on port lit. So basically we can see that we are in the location nmap, and so we need to start this guy here in the location www, and so we need this command here. And now let's wait to get a reverse shell. And yeah, there it goes. We have a reverse shell. To stabilize the shell, we just need to start the bin bash here, that program, and then send the errors to dev null. So we need to foreground and reset the terminal. Yeah, and we have it. So we have the local.txt there, and a funny thing that I always do is alias list to list all. So who are we? And you can see Linux Dawn, and we have, this is the kernel version, which is a pretty old kernel version, but that is okay. We are user Dawn, and let's see, can we do that? The funny thing is that we can do that. So this is user MySQL, and that's pretty nice, but we don't have the default credentials to connect to MySQL. I really don't know how to connect to MySQL without the credentials, but we can try something like, can we just try start? No. Yeah, so we need something like some credentials to be honest. So just because I don't have the credentials, I'll just look for something else, to be honest. So we can run MySQL with the root. So let's go to GTFO bins and see. But I'm pretty much sure that we need the credentials. We really need the credentials. Can run that as sudo. So yeah, I guess this will work for it. Yeah, so the funny thing is that using a password, yeah, that won't happen basically. So the funny thing is that we really need credentials to do that, but we don't have credentials. So what I'm going to try to do is go to /temporary directory and try to upload Olympias. I wanted this to be there. Yeah, so let's go to the web root. Let's get the turn 0, and now we can use wget here to get Olympias. And yeah, so we have Olympias there, and then we can execute it like this. Exactly. So let's just check this. It says the system is vulnerable to that guy there. And can we search for that guy? So this is pwnkit from here, like you can just like see it from here. This is pwnkit for local privilege escalation, and we can just download the source file from this URL, but I have pwnkit in my system, and so just go to home, tools, Linux, and then pwnkit. So I already have the compiled version of it, so I'll just do the get the turn, so that will copy that to my clipboard and then start over the server again, then do a wget. Yeah, so my shell is now responding, and we have the pwnkit exploit uploaded to the machine. So let's execute it like that, and we are root. That's the funny thing. So let's just cd to root, list directory is there, and then we can cut the proof.txt, yeah, and the flag.txt as well. So very nice, we have pwned the machine. See you next time.